So I'm Tawnee Kendall, and this is Rob Cameron, and he works on SRX. He's a technical marketing engineer, which for all you other folks out there who don't understand that, it's the technical evangelist for his team.
That's correct.
Right? So tell me a little bit about what SRX is and why it's so important.
So the SRX platform is the leveraging of Juniper's history with the NetScreen firewall products and integrating those features into the Juniper service provider class type of routing products such as the M series and MX series. And it allows users to be able to scale a firewall beyond whatever has been done before, up to 120 gigabits per second throughput, which is something that's pretty unknown in the industry. Okay. And it allows people to deploy it for specific use cases where scale needs to happen. So an example would be something like a mobile IP phone, which would be like an iPhone, where you have web email services, things like that. And because you may have tens of millions of devices, you need to be able to scale a device that can handle all of that type of traffic, which is something that the SRX can handle, which is great for that platform. So service providers can provide these rich data services to customers, as well as have it secured, have the handset secured as well.
Cool.
In an enterprise environment, something that this is used is in the data center, because the data center is the heart of any sort of business, and every business today uses computers. I mean, nobody walks around today with the transparencies and goes and does slide projections like that. So you need to have a place that you can have all your data and have it to be secured. And the capacities on the SRX can handle the data center for a number of connections per second, for a number of hosts it can monitor, things like that. And besides the capacities, it also allows you to scale. So if you had, before you would buy a device and it could do X amount of throughput. Well, today you can buy this device and have a low-end cost, but then as you need to scale it up, you can buy additional services blades and increase the amount of throughput and connections per second, things like that for the device.
Right.
So it's very cost-effective to be able to provide scalable services in your network.
So is the reason why this is coming out now is because of things like the iPhone and new technologies that need to support all these different customers?
It's because of the need to scale in a firewall, to be able to take more and more devices and put it behind it. In the past, you would take and say maybe have 20 or 30 firewalls that would do what this one device could do, and that's great, but as we go forward with green initiatives, with everyone wants to save money, because one of the #1 costs for a business is the cost of running a data center is running the power. And so if you have 30 or 40 devices, that's 30 or 40 devices to manage. If you have a managed service contract, that's 30 or 40 times the number of devices you have to pay for. And in this case, you could collapse that all into one device, one management interface, very easy to work with from that perspective. And we even calculated based upon if you did 120 1-gig firewalls and you used one SRX, you'd have a 79% power savings, which is really huge for a data center.
That's massive.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so when customers are either retrofitting data centers for power or building new data centers, they can just buy 1 or 2 of these devices to be able to handle all of the data center traffic. Which is great. So the question around that would be, wow, I used to have like 30 points of failure, so if I lost 1 or 2, it's not a big deal, but at the SRX, if I lose this, well, I'm in big trouble. Well, what happened with the SRX development is we leverage other technologies inside of Juniper. So we're really using what we have. So we took the MX series platform and said, hey, we want to take this great high-end router, but really make it and give it stateful firewall capacity or capabilities, and which is what the SRX is. So it uses the same chassis, same interface cards, things like that. And what we added was the ability to have a services blade that essentially sits in between the 2 interface cards. And so that in turn is something that's developed internally that we can now utilize for other products. And it's very scalable, very powerful. And what's really nice about the SRX is that a lot of customers are very familiar with the Juno software from a router perspective. So this takes that expertise that people have and allow it to translate to just a few new commands to be able to do all the security features of the SRX, which is great.
So is this only for massive companies then, in order to consolidate your own data center, or are you actually able to promote towards smaller companies as well?
So today, the SRX is really focused on higher-end enterprises and service providers. But what's nice is that customers who before may be smaller, medium-sized, 1,000, 2,000 servers, something like that they wanted to deploy a data center firewall, they just really couldn't because it wasn't cost-effective. Because there were some solutions out there that were very big and very expensive. But again, with the SRX being modular, we can go ahead and buy a low entry level, to do what they have today, and then they don't have to throw that out to forklift upgrade into a new platform, which is great. So if today they want to run can run the platform, they can buy one services blade, or in the future they can, run 6, 8, or whatever we support.
So you can plan ahead for the fact that your business will be growing.
Absolutely.
And still be able to handle that capacity even as the time goes on.
Yep.
That's perfect.
Just because it's a 250-pound chassis doesn't mean it's big and expensive and things like that. You can start low cost and scale up from there.
That's excellent. Well, good. Well, thank you so much for sharing what the SRX is and how it works.
Thanks, Tawnee. And if anybody has interest on this and has other questions, you can post this on the JNet communities.
Ah, good. Good plug. All right, thank you.